Hi, another recording dedicated to the newly awakened commander. This time it's Mengo. This cavalry commander is another representative of the continent of Essos. Today I will try to discuss his backstory, although there is almost none of it, as well as his attributes, skills, awakening, and synergy, although I had a bit of a logic problem here too. So let's start from the beginning. And in the beginning there was an emptiness from which the first stars were born. These stars were the dothraki. However, Mengo, after the death of his khal, did not want to burn with his remains in a ritual fire and join the stars. He wanted fight, war, and conflagration, so he crossed the poison sea and joined the battle sweeping Westeros. At the same time, its description is short and concise. There is little more that can be added about him because little else is known about him. I won't write about the dothraki religion because that's not what today's video is about. But maybe I'll talk about it a bit in the future. Let's get back to Mengo. Dothraki are born horsemen. When sitting in the saddle, they do not feel the difference between their body and that of their horse. That's why Mengo is the cavalry commander. His attributes are also reflected in this: cavalry attack and defense, and for reasons unknown to me, defense of the walls. If I had to guess, it's due to Mengo's rank in his former khalasar, but these are just my guesses. The attributes are average, even standard for commanders of this class, but as a purely F2P commander, he is not built to be a frontline commander. Staying on the topic of space, it is more like the moon to the earth than the sun to the rest of the planets. Why do I think so? I'll change the order a bit. But let's look at his awakening ability. Increases cavalry attack and defense by 5% with each critical hit. The big problem is that Mengo doesn't give you a chance to score a critical hit. And how many cavalry commanders even give you a critical hit chance? 1. In words, 1. Meryl Peak. This brings me back to my previous video on Lero, synergy with Sonara as son. Does this mean that Mengo is useless in itself? Not completely. If we focus on the synergy of critical attacks for cavalry units, Mengo will be a great fulfillment of this synergy because increasing attack and defense by a maximum of 50% is not a small value. But then we still need a trigger, a Meryl Peak. However, this is still not enough because Meryl's ability to awaken only gives you a 50% chance of a critical hit after performing 4 regular attacks. An unlucky player may not even see a critical hit during battle. To increase the chance of a critical hit, in this case, you need to increase the number of regular attacks, which can be helped by the previously mentioned Sonara. Since we already have 3 commanders, Mengo, Meryl, and Sinar, we can only increase the attack of the cavalry itself thanks to the help of Robb Stark. And in a situation where we can only have 1 epic commander, the matter is closed because there are no more free commanders cavalry with an interesting awaken ability. This is quite problematic as it may be difficult for an F2P player to get more epic commanders. Of course, this does not completely close the path to further development. In this situation, I would recommend 2 options: Winton to increase pure attributes, or Arya Stark with her death marker. In both cases we are a plus, also considering that Arya Stark increases total attack from pure attributes. However, in case we could and wanted to have a second epic commander next to Sonarada's then we change the critical hit into a critical hit with a bleeding effect. It is almost a twin combination as in the case of Lero, but with the most important difference: Lero is a copy of Meryl, not Mengo. In the cavalry version, in synergy with 2 epic commanders, Mengo, Meryl, Sonara, and Robb, the cavalry attack increases over time, dealing more and more bleeding damage. Why? Because bleeding damage depends on the unit's damage. If during battle damage increases over time, Robb and Mengo effects, then bleeding damage will also increase, as it is a base 20% of normal damage. In this case, it can be compared to a black hole. By increasing its mass, it increases its range of influence, and in the case of the above-mentioned commanders, increasing the duration of the battle increases its damage. Snowball effect. I skipped over describing Mengo a bit, but I didn't want to lose this thread. At the same time, I described it almost in its entirety. Why almost? Because there is one place where I used it before I woke up, and I will continue to use it for a long time. Rebel leaders. Mengo is a good, stable damage dealer. At the same time, if an opponent has less than 50% health, it reduces their defense, making them easier to defeat. Another snowball effect. To sum up our former Blood Reader, Mengo is a solid option for F2P players whose playtime has allowed them to already earn 1 epic commander. However, it is not the basis of any synergy, but only an addition of addition, if I may call it that. To the solar system, it is like the moon to a planet, although it did not want to be a star to its khalasar. Is it worth doing? For 2 awakening stars, absolutely, because it is one of the few free options to increase the combat rate in the tavern. It will also be perfect in the synergy of critical attacks, because that's basically where it has its only place. I hope you liked today's video. I'm counting on your comments and see you soon.